Hi, my name is V. Paul with Health Sciences Classroom Services, and I'm here on the second floor of the HSEC building to give a tour on our ALC number 1, or Active Learning Classroom number 1, HSEC 2110. Now, ALC number 1 is a 144-seat classroom that is capable of doing regular classroom lectures as well as video conferencing. There's a built-in video conference unit in this room. This room also has a built-in classroom recorder, and it has a number of Solstice wireless presentation devices that allow for wireless sharing. These are the three kind of big updates to technology that we've done here in HSEC that we hope to move through the rest of our classroom spaces. So as you'll notice here, around the perimeter of the room, there are 15 tables of 9 for the students, and each table has 2 displays. The main display, the top display, is considered people channel, and the bottom display is considered content channel. So the cameras show on the top, the content or anything being shared, it shows on the bottom. But this is an any source to any destination kind of classroom, which means we could show content to both, and we could show different types of content to the top compared to the bottom. Now, at the center of the room is the instructor station, and as you'll see, because we've got the 2 displays at each table, there is not a focal point, a central main screen in this classroom. So this classroom really was designed to be ALC style, without students having to sort of face forward looking at one screen. They've got their own screens to do their own work. The instructor is free to walk around and interact with the students at all of their tables. And as well, the students could do small group work as they need in these spaces. So walking to the instructor station right now, you'll notice that I've got content on one screen and different content on the other screen. So there is a room PC in this podium, so the instructor does not have to bring a device if they don't want to. And they could just teach from their workstation. But this screen over here, this is considered the confidence monitor for the instructor. And that means anything being shared, and in this case I've got a laptop connected by an HDMI cable. Anything being shared to the screens will also show here so that the instructor gets their own view. And as I sort of stated, a laptop via HDMI, that's certainly possible. You will need your own adapter, as I'm using here, if you don't have an HDMI out on your laptop. But like I sort of said at the top of this tour, there is a Solstice wireless presentation device for the instructor, so that the instructor can bring a laptop like this, a tablet, or a mobile device, wirelessly connect to that Solstice unit, and then share to all the screens here. So that makes collaboration much easier for folks giving presentations in this classroom. And similarly, there is a Solstice wireless presentation device in each of these tables. So students working at their tables can show content to the screens wirelessly and show the work that they're doing either to just their table or share it to the whole room. You could have one content at a time, and each person takes their turn connecting. They could all connect if they wanted to, all 15 tables, and the instructor could connect to the Solstice, and then the instructor can moderate which content is being shown. Or you can also do 2 up, you could do 4 up if you want to compare data, for example. Now, as you add more sources, the images get a little bit smaller, so you really don't want to do more than 4. Now, also at this station, you'll notice we've got a podium mic for voice lift in the room, and this podium mic also sends audio to the far side if we were in a video conferencing session. But as well, we have wireless lavaliers and wireless handheld for this classroom. So there could be multiple instructors teaching simultaneously, doing some shared teaching. There's also a document camera that passes through the room PC here, so that they'd be able to do image magnification. But again, because this is a video conferencing room that is also classroom recording capable, there are 2 cameras that the instructor can control, that the presenter can control from the touch panel if they wanted to do image magnification of, for example, a simulation, a nursing simulation or some kind of medical procedure, and they wanted to aim the camera at this space. So that people on the far side could see it, so that people at the tables can see it closely without having to get up from their table. So that's certainly possible. Now, as I mentioned about the classroom recording, Health Sciences Classroom Services, our office, we manage scheduling the classroom recorders that are built into these classrooms. So an instructor or a department admin could request a single event or a single course or a series of classes over the course of the semester, and we would program the recorder to start and stop at the times that they give us. And the recorder will capture anything on the camera that's considered the main camera, so whatever is active at the time, whether we set it or the instructor sets it, and anything being shared to the screens. That gets captured and published to the university's Kaltura MediaSpace video repository. MediaSpace is how video gets into Canvas so that instructors can share review material with their students, or they could take the content, edit it, and repurpose it for another course, perhaps the online version of the course. Now, if an instructor forgot to ask us, or if we missed a schedule, or if the time that a request is made is too close to the start time of the event so that we could not program the recorder, an instructor or a presenter would be able to manually start and stop their own recordings from here. They would put in the email address so that it would publish to MediaSpace under their profile and start the recording, give their presentation, stop the recording, auto-publishes without their interaction, and they would then be able to find the recording in their MediaSpace profile so that they could add it to the Canvas site if that's what they needed. Now, also similarly, as I said, this is a video conferencing room. ITV is another word that we use here on campus. So an instructor or a presenter would be able to start and stop their own video conferencing sessions here if they wanted to. And you'll notice that right now some content changed on the screens because I entered video conference mode. We can see our camera in the picture-in-picture in the PIP. And if we were connected to another room, we would see the far side camera on the top screen. And then any content that we're sharing on the bottom screen. Or if content is coming from the far side, that would show up on the bottom screen. Now, with video conferencing, you also should remember that includes Zoom. So this is a Zoom-capable room through the video conferencing unit. Whether you're joining somebody else's Zoom or you want to host your own Zoom, or you need to start an impromptu, an unscheduled Zoom. It's totally possible from this classroom using the controls at this station. And as well, when you're in a video conferencing unit or a Zoom unit, you can share any of the sources, whether it's the workstation, whether it's a laptop through the cable, whether it's a laptop through the Solstice, or whether it's any of the collaboration tables. Now, I've already sort of mentioned that at this station you've got control. The other interesting thing about this ALC is that we have a student or a technician control station here in the corner. So if you have a grad student who is moderating or managing your video conference session for this course, or if you've got a student who's taking the class, they could sit here and be a student participating, but control station over here in order to manage the video conferencing setup for you. We also have some records ins and outs here. So if you're doing an event and you wanted to have a technician manage all of the recording and the presentation from here rather than from the front, so that the instructor or the speaker is just at the front, that's certainly possible from this room. And while we're here at this table, let me note, each table of 9 has 3 microphones, so 1 mic per 3 students, one for one side, one for the other, and one for the end. Students are able to connect via an HDMI cable to content to show here or to share elsewhere. They could also connect via the Solstice presentation device. And when the system is off, this classroom is available as a study space. Students could come in here alone or as groups and work just at this table. They would push a button at the table and that would activate just this screen. And so they could share their content, show their content, whether cabled or wirelessly. And if you had multiple groups working, audio comes out of just the local display rather than from the screen, so their audio wouldn't mix. If this became a full room of of student groups or individual groups working, then we would have them just wear an earbud so that their audio does not interfere with anybody else. So having said that, I think I've covered everything that this room has. Again, my name is V. Paul with Health Sciences Classroom Services. We're looking forward to hosting your courses or your events in space, whatever it is that you can imagine doing here in the classroom. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks very much.